Now I'm going to answer the questions, okay, as quickly as possible. And one of them here is, there's two ways I can take that question. One aspect is that one way we're forced into doing something we don't want to do is when we don't know how to deal with the distress inside of us, and it builds up to such an extent that we think, speak and act in ways that we regret later on, and we become destructive and harmful. But the other aspect of this question could be, because the person's not here, it could be that they feel a little bit rebellious and perhaps feel like they're being forced to wear a mask, or being forced to stay at home, or being forced into living a life right now that they don't want to do. So feeling as though you're going to be forced into doing something you don't want to do is not understanding the forces of nature within you. You are ultimately a human body that thinks. And that human body is nature, is a part of nature, and therefore the forces within this body are the force of nature itself. Very powerful healing force, but when it goes out of control, when it becomes distorted, it can become a very powerful destructive force. So how do we resolve this potential for harm? How do we resolve this potential for harm, for doing something we really don't want to do, is rather than acting out these destructive urges, and that might be as simple as the urge to have a cigarette, or it might be the urge to harm someone or beat someone up, or the things that you do to yourself that are harmful to you each and every day. These are all driven by deeper urges felt within you. Now those urges, those feelings that drive you to do the actions that you do, drive you to think the thoughts that you think, and drive you to behave the way that you behave, which are harmful behaviours. These habits or addictions that we have, the only way and the simple way to resolve these is to refrain from the action and retain the feeling of the urge to do that action within your own body. Feel it there. You won't like it. Obviously you don't like it, and that's why you want to act it out. But if you don't act it out and feel it within your own body, it will dissipate. So if you're rebelling against the rules being imposed on you and that feeling as though that's going to force you to do something you don't want to do, or if you're simply building up with distress inside of yourself, feeling as though you're going to do something you don't want to do, the answer is exactly the same. Come back to that feeling building up inside of you. Find where it is in your body and just feel that. You may have to walk around the room slowly and feel that, or sit still and feel that. Feel that for as long as you can on regular intervals, and you will find that that feeling will dissipate. And as that feeling dissipates, so your tendency to perform harmful action will also come to an end. But the tremendous benefit of this is that you will be forced into greater depths in yourself than any time in your life before. And that's the benefit of a crisis. It causes you to dig deeper into yourself and to be more of yourself than ever before, to be tempered by that crisis and to find abilities and strengths within yourself. And this is what I want to help you do. Find your own feet. No matter how weak or fragile you're feeling right now, feel that within yourself. Okay, so someone's asked a very good question here. Your sense of yourself in the body. Here, to understand this, don't separate yourself from your body. One and the same thing. So considering you are your body, this is you. This live, feeling, breathing, sensing, intelligent, thinking organism of you. And how do you know you even exist? You know you exist because you sense it. How do you know your arm is there? You can sense it. How do you know your stomach is there? You feel it. you sense it. If you were completely numbed out from the legs down, you wouldn't have that immediate sense of knowing they were there. You would have to look at them and touch them with your hands to be sure they were there. Without that physical sense of yourself, you cannot even know that you exist. That physical sense of yourself is not only your knowledge that you exist, and knowledge not as in thoughts, but knowledge as in the immediate live sense of you. So the question is, what is my sense of myself in the body? Your sense of yourself in the body is all of your sense organs operating, your sight, your smell, the touch of your skin, the sounds vibrating in your ears, the feeling of the atmosphere around you telling you on your skin whether it's hot or cold, the sensations inside of you that tell you whether you're hungry or not, the movement of your heart rate, your breathing, all the sensations within your body that you often don't even notice because you're too thoughtful, you're thinking too much, too mindful, if you like, of life around you. Mindfulness, yeah? What a distraction from the reality of you. You don't need to be mindful of yourself. You are yourself. Just how can you even escape yourself? That's the sense of you. There is no escape from it. You may think of other things. Sense of you is still there. Easy to prove. Someone puts something hot on your skin, you'll soon know your sense of yourself. It's there all the time. But the more we think, the less we notice what we are feeling. So the more we think, the less we understand ourselves through our feeling, and the less we understand our environment. So thought has been put on a bit of a pedestal. And what I want to bring you back to is what happens before thought. What happens before thought is sensation, the pure physical sensation of you in the body. For the past 30, 35 years, I've been helping people with serious life issues. And through helping people with serious life issues and succeeding in helping people too, or in helping people help themselves really, I've come to understand distresses through the people I've worked with and of course my own life experience. But my own life experience has not actually been anywhere near as bad as most of those people that I've helped in my life. There's two primary levels of anxiety. One is the thing you're aware of, which is what's going on in the world right now, and it's a temporary thing that's happening today and you get a bit distressed about it. And that's a relatively easy anxiety to deal with. You just feel it in your body. Even though you don't like the feeling of anxiety, you have got no way to escape it. The more you try and escape it, the more anxious you become. The more you give into it and just feel it. Just feel it, but I mean as a sensation, and you'll feel anxiety mostly through the center of your body, yeah, through the core of your body, through your throat, chest, and stomach again. Feel it there, it will dissipate quite easily. But when that anxiety is from deep trauma, perhaps from childhood trauma, this type of anxiety is known because it's with you all the time. It's something that you don't know why you feel this way. You don't know what to do about it. You just know you've always felt this way. And some days you feel better and some days you don't. But most of your life, you've always felt anxious, distressed. This is a much deeper anxiety. And this is a deep anxiety that's caused from abusive pasts. And abusive pasts affect us in a way that leave us changed in how it feels to be ourselves. But the change is imposed upon us. And the effect is an addition to what we really are. And how we resolve the effect is what's important. We can't change what's happened. That's gone. But what hasn't gone is the effect it's had on us. And how we know the effect it's had on us is because we can feel it. We can feel it somewhere in our body, which shows you it's actually physical. It's not psychological. The psychological approach doesn't work. It will never work. It never has. Because the problem is not psychological. Psychological is a symptom. The problem is physical. It's the anxiety you feel in your flesh, in your guts, in your heart, in your lungs, in your heart rate. Feel that anxiety as it is. Make that your meditation. Just feeling that. Not thinking about that, but freely giving into that and just feeling that for a while. Don't expect yourself to get results. Don't worry about the results. You want the results, but don't be looking for the results. What you need to do is feel the distress that's there. It's there for reasons you may not even remember, but it's there for a reason. Feel that as it is, and the more you feel that, the more you will heal that and dissipate that from your system and eventually recover from the effects of whatever you've been through, whether you know what you've been through or no longer remember. So this is a very good question. It's a very big topic, but hopefully this will help you. So this is an approach to meditation and your life and the distress around you that you'll find will really work. I don't want you to suppress any feelings as the way you are, but just see if you can just feel them in your body exactly as they are and give them a chance to dissipate in their own time. And in this way, you'll move through this current crisis and come out the other end of this crisis in such a way that you'll come out the other end unaffected. Thanks for listening. Bye.